Welcome to the workshop. My name is Martin Panev and I'm a student at MCTS. You know, engineering for me is how I spend most of my time. If you ask anyone around me what I'm doing, they'll most likely say working on something or building something. So you might be asking, how did this start? Well, when I was a kid, I learned how things work by taking them apart and studying their insides. I actually don't think this has really changed over the years. And later, I took up model aircraft as a hobby, and this taught me to solder ESCs, make airframes and wings, and I learned a ton from these early projects. A lot of my trial and error processes and problem-solving skills actually came from this time in my life, and I use all of that stuff daily. Around this time, I was captivated by 3D printing and CNC. I had seen it online. I was still fairly little, so I'm honestly very shocked when my parents made this move, but they bought me a 3D printer. And this marked a big milestone in my engineering pathway, as I took up the basics of CAD and design, and starting in OpenSCAD, I designed a bunch of new parts for this 3D printer, and even a few of my own. CAD is a skill that I still use every single day, and I've only gotten better since then. At some point though, I didn't really want to make things out of plastic and styrofoam anymore. I'd gotten tired of that, and I had seen people online using lathes and mills, so I conjured up a plan to buy a lathe of my own. And after a few months of saving, I bit the bullet and I bought a shear line lathe. And from there, everything around me has expanded exponentially. Many of my projects outgrew my desk, and thus I took over the basement at this point in time. There I made a bunch of small mechanical parts, I learned to etch circuit boards, learned to design my own CNC machines, and worked on countless other projects that really developed my skill set. Unfortunately though, that space was limited and quite difficult to work in, especially with heavier equipment, which brings me here. In this shop, I've had the opportunity to take up tons of projects in many diverse fields. Some notable projects that I'd like to include are machine restorations, custom tools, engines, synthesizer modules, amplifiers, even classic car restoration, kiln controllers, CNC retrofits, homebrew computers, luthiering, and even as of recently, electron microscopy. Every one of these projects has come with its own unique set of challenges though, and I've had to face and learn from all of these challenges, along with enduring all of the countless side projects and tons of research to make them all possible. And this is actually the part that keeps me coming back for more in engineering. I love the final product, sure, but the real fun for me comes from learning along the way and testing my skills and challenging myself to do things that I would have never thought were even possible just a year ago. Furthermore, last summer I took up work at an engineering company near me that designs custom moldings, railings, siding, and trim. There I could put some of this creativity and problem solving that I do every day anyways to a professional use. I made a ton of commercial and residential projects, including railings and siding and all sorts of interesting trim pieces, and I learned a ton about professional design and how to do things in the real world. For these reasons, I believe that I'd be a great fit for the governor's school. I bring practical skills and hands-on experience that you can see all around me, and I genuinely enjoy learning new things. It's actually one of my favorite hobbies. I also really like working with people who share similar interests as me and who are motivated by the same things, especially on projects where we get to create something new together or explore a new field entirely. I have a very strong work ethic, and I don't shy away from a good challenge. Thank you so much for considering my application and watching. Cheers!